Hello, Mike Bradley here. Hope you are doing well as always. So recently I posted a video playing an amazing replica of Stevie Vaughan's Stratocaster. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link right there and you can check it out and then come back to this video. But it's an amazing Strat. I miss it. It sounds great. It felt great. It's just purely great. And also in a recent video, I had my Blue Strat upgraded. So the guy who made the Stevie Vaughan Strat is a guy called Dave from Tonewood Guitars, and I love the sound of it so much that this guitar needed a manicure, as I said in the recent video. Again, if you haven't checked that out, I'll put a link up below you can check out. But it needed a good old facelift, bit of a manicure, so it had some new pickups put in it, had new frets, had the fingerboard refinish as well, but the pickups were the same pickups which are in the Stevie Vaughan Strat. Now I'm really loving this guitar. It's, you know, the fact that I've had it for 20 years and it's kind of, you know, brought back the love that I once had for it is very much here again, you know, the love for this guitar. But I thought it'd be really interesting to kind of hear side-by-side comparisons of the Stevie Vaughan Strat with these pickups and this guitar with these pickups. Just for, to be honest, for me, I wanted to hear the difference really. And I thought, you know, my fellow geeks out there, you may kind of want to see and hear this as well. So yes, of course, this is a maple fingerboard and the Stevie Vaughan Strat is a rosewood fingerboard, yes. So that's going to add some tonal difference, though I'm sure there's might be people out there about the whole Tonewood thing might be jumping on me. But this actually could be interesting to hear a comparison because both guitars were played through the exact same amp with the same pedals, with the same settings. Both were tuned to an E-flat tuning with 11 gauge strings. So, you know, it's as close as you can get, but obviously this is the maple and that's rosewood. So I'm going to go between the two sounds and let's see what we think. Okay, that was interesting. So the Blue Strat there, I don't know if you agree with me, kind of sounded like that, which is strange because when I'm playing it, it sounds lovely and it's great. But the tonal Strat, the replica of the Stevie Vaughan, this is when you get all these buzzwords, but it's true. It's much more open sounding, much more woody, glassy. But like I said, I remember I set them exact amps. The amp was set the same. I had this. Actually, no, I didn't have any pedals on it. It was just the guitar and the amp with reverb. That was it. So there's no pedals on both of those. And that Eternal Strat is so much more open sounding. Organic sounding, you know. Let me know a word you're thinking what we could use to describe this, but I think the best thing there is that blue one. It sounds cool, but it definitely sounds like someone's put their hand over the pickups or over the microphone or something. So that's interesting, isn't it? Right, let's hear some more sounds. Okay, let's just hear that intro of both those guitars once again. they both sound good in their own way. But again, that Replica Strat is so much that, you know. Now, is that because this has got a poly finish and the Eternal Replica SRV Strat is, you know, well, it's a nitro finish, but also there's not much finish on it, you know, for obvious reasons. So that might be a contender. Again, sound-wise, the amp's the same. I've got a little bit of a Leslie effect, which I put on in post through Logic, and they're both set exactly the same. But there's a noticeable difference there. So first of all, it proves, for me, that it's not just pickups, kids. Yeah, it's... Let's just hear that intro one more time, then we're going to play... I'll play both the parts together. It's interesting, isn't it? Let's hear the whole part of that Life About You kind of segment on the SRV one, and then on this girl as well. man, they both sound good. The overdrive, what I kicked on was a Seymour Duncan 805 when I was doing the solo there. Again, set exactly the same, I remember. You know, I know when I'm listening to both parts there, I feel I'm playing better on the Eternal Replica Strat. I remember when I was recording that, and I'm like this with any guitar, and I'm sure you are as well. You know, when you kind of find a guitar, if you're in a guitar shop trying a guitar out, or you've got your one special guitar, and everything's just clicking, like, you know, your hands are synced and you're just feeling the guitar, you know. And I remember when I was doing that, that was the case there. And I remember when I did the blue one, when I did this, it was in my head how I was thinking about when I did the Replica, but it still sounds cool. This still sounds absolutely great. And don't worry, I'm not being put off by you. But for me personally, I feel that Eternal Replica guitar definitely is a much more open, organic, natural guitar tone to my liking anyway. What are you thinking? Are you preferring old Blue here, or are you preferring the Replica one? The scary thing is here, I mean, I've already said to Dave I want one of his guitars at some point, but when I hear that, I'm like, oh, goodness gracious, I really I mean, I don't want a replica of Stevie's Strat, but you know, I certainly want a Strat like that, you know, but maybe so I can do my own naughtiness on it regarding the finished stuff, you know. But this is really interesting, and again, this whole thing on you know, is it just pickups or stuff like that? It's all the tiny little things that add to a guitar tone, I personally believe, because, you know, that was going through the same amp, a Fender Supersonic, which is not here at the moment, it's downstairs, but my Fender Supersonic, but going through the Seymour Duncan 805, the same reverb, which was from Logic, the Ohm Chapel I'm using, and then the little Leslie sounds, that was in Logic as well. The overdrive pedals used was the Seymour Duncan 805. I don't think I used the Vertex Ultraphonics, no, it's just that. Everything was set the same. The mics in the 2-note Captor X is set exactly the same, but there's a big difference. So I think you can see my answer. It'd be lovely to know what you think. But yeah, I find this really interesting, hearing these kind of things side by side, especially when they're, you know, the same pickups. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I found it interesting anyway. But do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It's really good to read and hear everyone's opinions on this. If you haven't already, do like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out my website, mikebradleymusic.com, where you can get some lessons from me and you can get some merch, and check out my music as well on Spotify. And if you want to get a CD, you can get that from my website as well. And if you're really interested, I am on Patreon if you want to support the channel. So yeah, all that stuff's really important. Hope you're good, hope you're well. I'll see you in another video very soon. Mike Bradley signing out. Bye.